Well, I got lucky. YouTube has just announced a whole host of changes. From February next year, YouTube is effectively doubling the watch time hours required to be invited into the YouTube Partnership Programme. Fortunately, I'm on the other side of the door now, so this doesn't particularly affect me. Well, not yet anyway. But reading this announcement this morning has made me realise just how different the last few months of my life could have actually been. Because it's not that long ago since I was sat here with a channel with 117 subscribers and 123 watch hours. And if I'd have been sitting here this morning and seeing that YouTube was moving the goalpost to 8,000 watch hours, well, I'm going to be truthful with you. Part of me might have thought that this YouTube thing just isn't going to happen. And look, if you're sat there thinking, well, that's easy for you to say because you're already monetized, well, yeah, I am. And I'm very fortunate. I mean, the timing could not have been better. But here's the thing, getting monetized might be your entire focus right now. By the end of this video, I'm hoping to demonstrate that it's nowhere near as important as you think it might be. And I've also got 2 completely free resources that I'm using on my own channel that you can have free of charge to help you with your journey. But first, what's actually changed? I'll keep this short because there's plenty of gurus already peddling this stuff and you can read the announcement yourself. I'll leave a link. But from February 2027, creators that are wanting to join the YouTube Partnership Programme will now need 1,000 subscribers and 8,000 watch hours in 365 days for the long form, or 20 million qualified views on shorts within a 90-day period. Now, I'm not really interested in shorts, so it is what it is. And there is a whole host of other changes where they're making income for creators work differently. Like they're introducing YouTube Premium Lite and stuff like that. But go and read it and have a look, and that is not the scope of this video. But that 8,000 watch hours is the thing that jumps off the page immediately. Now, there is a little bit in it that says that current content creators like myself are grandfathered into it. So it doesn't affect me for now, but they are introducing a concrete minimum level of watch time hours before you're deemed inactive, and they could kick you out of the program. Before I go any further, if you've been watching this channel for a while now and you've got absolutely no interest in starting a YouTube channel, well, I hope you find some value in this video because it's a little bit of a behind the scenes look at what goes into creating a channel, because what you see on your phone or your laptop or your TV when you're watching videos is literally just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and the content that I make isn't really changing. I'm just changing the way that it's presented to make it easier and more enjoyable to watch, hopefully. Because I know sometimes I can labour a point till even I'm bored of it, so God help you. And part of trying to get better at this is knowing when I've made the point and swiftly move on, which seems particularly appropriate for this video. Anyway, I am not going to pretend that I planned this mastermind strategy of getting through the monetization door before these changes took effect. I didn't. I literally got lucky. You know, I started this channel and was growing very, very slowly. And I made plenty of videos that barely anybody watched. But here's the thing. I eventually uploaded a video about my life living in a caravan, and, well, that thing ran. That video single-handedly took me over the 1,000 subscribers and through the monetization 4,000 watch hours with breathing space. And then I got accepted into the YouTube Partnership Programme, and then a few months later, here we are, and YouTube has effectively pulled the ladders up behind me. That's bloody fortunate. But anyway, going back, there was a point before that video, it was hard work, it was slow going. And you know, making videos now is exactly the same as it was before monetization. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. You go somewhere, you film it, you come back, you edit it, you upload it, and you're hoping that you'll get some traction. You know, you even design the perfect thumbnail and then 24 people watch it. But you do it again and again. And I'd like to tell you that at that point, if YouTube had moved the goalpost and said you now need 8,000 watch hours, well, I'm not convinced that I'd have the same opinion or thought process as I do now. My motivation was already on the wane, and it's only because of a friend, Ian, kept badgering me to upload something. I had nothing, but if they changed the goalpost and said 8,000 watch time hours, I'm not so sure that I wouldn't have just said, maybe it's time to put the camera down and go and start living my life. Except there's something that I didn't know back then that I do now. It really can take just that one video. Now, I'm not saying that that next video might change your life. What I am saying is, it did for me, and the whole trajectory of my channel has completely changed. So if you're looking at February and thinking, I'm completely screwed, well, don't panic. But what I would do is I'd have a very serious look at what your analytics are telling you. See what videos do better than others, or look at your retention graph and try and find something that your audience responds to. Because that's something I got wrong for a long time. For ages I had this idea that going to interesting places and filming interesting places made interesting videos. Well, my analytics tell me over and over and over, my audience aren't bothered. Look through my catalogue, the numbers, the viewing numbers stick out like a sore thumb. You don't need to be some sort of YouTube analytic mastermind to see. It's there in my catalogue. And here's the interesting bit. Don't confuse persistence by repeatedly doing the same thing over and over again and hoping that this one might be the one. Step back, change, adapt, and move with what people are actually interested in watching you for. Now, occasionally I still make these videos because I want to make them, and I don't really care at this point if nobody watches them. There's a video here that I had an absolute blast filming. The viewing numbers, look at them. They've not even reached 200. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't expect YouTube to suddenly find this massive audience that are interested in the Berlin Wall and somebody that can't read Google Maps properly. But I enjoyed filming it. Persistence is persisting to create, persisting to learn. Persistence isn't refusing to change. And there's something else I'd be really careful about, because at the moment my notifications are blowing up with every guru suddenly saying this is the end, you've got to change strategy, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and they all conveniently have a course or piece of software that they're trying to sell you. Now, don't panic. Some of that stuff might be useful and might be good, but ask yourself this. Before this announcement, would you have purchased that course or would you have purchased that piece of software? If the answer's no, then don't be persuaded into buying into somebody else's urgency, because the goalposts have moved, but the rules haven't changed. Mountains of information that's just as good as these courses, that's already out there for free if you know how to look for it. And if you've got access to AI like ChatGPT, then you've got 90% of what you need already. It's just sometimes with AI you have to give it specific guardrails, otherwise it'll end up being a cheerleader. I use AI to build systems to create my content. I don't ask AI to make my content, because that'd be stupid. And that brings me back to the 2 free resources that I promised you. There's a document where I'm designing my hook and my packaging, and then there's a second one of how I'm trying to construct my videos to build my channel out. And like I said, you can grab them completely free, no course, don't even need your email, just help yourself. Take them, use them, update them with your own criteria. In fact, do that, because my version is an evolving document and so should yours. You see, if my analytics tell me that something improves retention or engagement, then I'll double down on that sort of content and make sure that I bring it front and centre, so it's not hidden on minute 8 or 9. I'll bring it to the first couple of minutes. And my audience won't be the same as your audience, which is why I'm saying edit the document around your own results, because the framework should support the channel, not dictate the channel, if that makes sense. Now here's a challenge for you. Read the documents and then watch this entire video again and try and spot where I'm putting into practice what the framework actually is. And yeah, I know what I'm doing there, but we're all in the business of watch time hours, right? And if you have found something in this video where I've completely ignored my framework, do let me know in the comments. And if you find it useful, well, you can always buy me a coffee. And again, that's another way to improve your income. AdSense is only part of the equation. Which brings me back to what I was saying right at the very beginning of why I really don't think you should be worried too unduly. If you're not currently monetized and you're working towards it, getting monetized feels like the end goal. You know, you've achieved something. And I'm not going to lie, the first time that you get your paycheck from YouTube, it is rather satisfying. But here's the thing, if you're wanting to make a career out of this YouTube thing, then that level of income from AdSense at 4,000 or 8,000 watch hours is not going to materially change your life. If you're wanting to make a career, you're going to have to aim much, much higher. It's just monetization is YouTube's way of giving you permission to start earning money. But I'll let you into another secret. Before my first paycheck from YouTube actually landed, I'd already got my first brand deal. And then I've got a second brand deal that are coming up on the channel very shortly. But it's not just brands, it's affiliate links, it's channel memberships, buy me a coffee. There are loads of ways to monetize your content. Don't get hung up on the 8,000 watch hours. There's really no need to. So yeah, YouTube's changed the goalposts and I feel incredibly fortunate. If you are trying your best to get monetized, well, the best way you can get to that is to keep looking at your own analytics. Find what works in your own channel and double down on that and disregard anything that's noise. And I suppose it's a pertinent reminder that you can have the greatest plan in the world, but there are often things outside of your control that can completely tip it all side down. Like for me, I have an idea that I want to move to Thailand or Cambodia at some point, but it only takes a visa rule change to have to adapt and overcome. It's the same with this YouTube monetization thing. Really, don't sweat it, just keep going, but pay attention to what your own analytics are saying, because that is how you grow quicker. And once again, don't spend any money on courses or software that you wouldn't have done this time last week, because you'll be panicking buying, and that's no way to grow. Getting to monetization was never the end goal anyway. It was just the next step. So keep going.